Thank you guys so much for joining me. It has been an absolutely beautiful Monday here in Virginia. We've been circling around this 60 to 40 degree weather for the last couple of weeks with some incredible wind chill. So it hasn't let us get out as much as we would like to, especially with the lockdown. Everybody's a little bit stir crazy, but today was absolutely gorgeous. We had a lot of beautiful sun. So let me know where you're coming from. Let me know what this lockdown has been like for you. I can't really express how interesting this time is for all of us. The whole point of this show, and the reason it's called intentionality, is because there's a divine purpose to everything in the universe. Everything was created to a master blueprint, a blueprint that you can learn and you can understand, and you can see how that blueprint connects with other blueprints and how they overlap and interlock to create a master tapestry of opportunities, of light, of energy. So with that said, what we're going through now is part of that master blueprint. It is woven into our tapestry in a way that's touching disparate strings and different parts of fabric than have ever touched each other before. So countries that have never considered or felt empathy for others are now in the same boat. They're forced to really look at the world through the eyes of other people and not just themselves. Now, that's a blanket statement. There are definitely some people who are going to go through this with their heads down and, eyes forward. But for a lot of us, I would say for most of us, the suffering that the world is going in as a whole has really leveled the playing field of humanity. We're seeing each other and we're feeling each other for the first time in a lot of cases. So while this time is complicated and there's a lot of fear and there's a lot of anger, frustration, depression, panic, those feelings are coming from a lack of a misunderstanding about what the universe is doing. If everything has a purpose, then this has a purpose. If everything is divine, then this is divine. It has a divine reason for happening at this time to this generation of people. So every time we step out of that fear, we take a step back and we look at the 10,000-foot picture of what's happening in this world. It removes the fear. Because fear comes from lack. It comes from that feeling of isolation. You feel like you're alone. You feel like the world is failing. You're failing yourself. You're failing your families. I get all of that. If you can remember and embrace the fact that the world is divinely created, it can take away that fear. Because the universe is not your responsibility. You can flow with what's happening versus swimming against the tide. You can let yourself be in the moment and not worried about what's going to happen tomorrow and not worry about what happened yesterday. That's intentionality. Intentionality is the divine moment of now. So for all of those who are out there who are raising their voices, who are putting on classes and meditations and circles and groups to bring people out of that fear, thank you so much for your service. For all of those who are still going to work, who are still working in the medical field, working in the service industry to make sure that we are not lacking. We're not lacking in medical care. We're not lacking in food. We're not lacking in anything. Thank you for your service. And for all of those who are staying home, despite being restless, being afraid, feeling the need to accomplish something. I get that. I totally do. My identity has always been wrapped up in work and what I could do, what I could produce. And we can't do that right now. So for all of you who are staying home for the greater good, you're staying home so that everybody else who is home or who's going to get this sickness and could possibly be vulnerable to it, you're staying home to protect others. You are protecting and serving not just your country, but the world. And whether this virus is as big as people say it is, I have no opinion on that. But I know that I will do what needs to be done to stay safe so that any lives that come in contact with mine are safe. Every ripple, every good deed you do ripples through the world. It adds to that divine collection. And these strings forcing you to stay home, your string in the tapestry is pulling on you in a way that it never has before, because it's asking you who you are. How do you want to show up for the world? Who do you want to be? You can remake yourself at this moment, because all your other distractions, that 9-to-5 job, that traffic, all that other junk is gone. You have your family. How are you going to show up for your family? How are you going to show up for your kids? How are you going to show up for your husband or wife? For your parents? How are you going to show up for a stranger who you will never meet and yet you will influence in some way, shape, or form? All of this intentionality is there for a reason. Pull that eyesight back just enough to release some of that fear and that pressure that I can tell is building inside of so many people. And for all the empaths out there that are feeling the burn, you need to step back too. Your power, your ability to link with other people and feel their pain is a gift, but it's not your pain. The pain that we're all going through, the things that we're all going through are all intention. They have to happen for a reason. So again, to all of those who are out there serving either out in the communities or serving by staying home, thank you so much for your service. And to all of those in the military and the government here and around the world who are not getting any leeway, who are forced to continue to work through all of this and have to continue to grind and to protect their countries, to protect their families, thank you for your service. This is a time in history that we're all going to look back on someday and say, where were you when? You're going to tell your grandkids about this. Where our grandparents told us about walking uphill barefoot in the snow, you're going to talk to them about this illness when you weren't allowed to leave your home, when you weren't allowed to go grocery shopping without a mask on. How do you want that story to go? How do you want your grandkids to see you? So think about how you want to show up in this world. And that perspective of how you want to show up expands out to how the world will show up for you. You're essentially teaching the universe how you want to be seen. And it's going to go out of its way to make sure that you have everything that you need to be that person, to be that ideal for yourself. So I just got on a giant soapbox. And I always, I open each of these shows with a meditation, and I ask angels and guides and all beings of light to just speak through me. I'm like, just go for it. I'm completely unfiltered. Just pass messages, whatever you want to say. So I have no idea what I'm going to say. When I first start these shows, I very much just let them riff. So I hope that was taken in the spirit in which it was. And we are such loved beings. We have so much support in the universe, don't just think about support as in the person that you can feel, touch, and see. Support is something you feel on a visceral level, on a cellular level. And every single time you're quiet enough and you ask to feel that love, you will. You will. And now the universe is giving you the opportunity to be quiet. It's forcing you to be quiet, which is a wonderful segue to ascension. Ascension is something that humans have struggled, strived, longed for since the beginning of mankind. Whether you're talking about the story of Eden or you're thinking about the plains of Lemuria, Atlantis, whatever your history, background, your belief system is, Humans have always wanted to ascend to the point where that fear of illness, fear of lack, the basic needs that you have as a human drift away. That is what Ascension is doing. It is allowing you to separate from the drudge of humanity. Humanity has wonderful aspects of it that we never see because we are so caught up in the negative, in the fear. So Ascension is about really pulling ourselves out of what the world has told us we needed to be, how it told us we needed to speak and feel and show up. And we recreate ourselves. We get reborn outside of this culture, outside of the society, as a pure being that is now no longer adrift in this world of chaos. Now you get to be in it, but you're not pulled by it anymore. You're not pushed by it anymore. You're free from that which made you suffer.